Afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us at Wembley Stadium ahead of the forthcoming UEFA Women's Nations League fixtures against Portugal and Spain. And we will begin with you, Anton.
Hi, Sarina.
Hi, good to see you.
Let's start with Chloe Kelly, shall we? Obviously not in the squad. Just wondering the reasons behind that.
Yeah, she hasn't played enough, in my opinion. So she moved clubs now, but last autumn she hardly played. And as I said, she built some credits, but over that time she made so less minutes that first now get started at Arsenal, get some minutes in, start playing and showing what you're about, and then we can revisit that again.
How difficult was that conversation to have with Chloe, considering obviously she's been such an important player over the last couple of years, and considering now that you were saying that the experimentation time is over, how difficult is it going to be for her to get back in the squad?
Yeah, we had a good conversation yesterday, and she understands. She's not out for the Euros. When she gets back, she's in full training, of course. Hopefully she get the minutes soon and she can show again. And then, as I said, we'll revisit it. And there's a huge competition going on in the team.
There's no Alex Greenwood, Georgia Stanway or Lauren Hemp. How much of a blow is that? And how concerned are you about their fitness and form going into the summer?
Yeah, and you can add the Frank Kirby to that one too. Yeah, they'll be out for a while. Frank Kirby's almost back. She's good. Of course, you're always concerned when someone is injured. I think they're all in a good place at the moment, but it will take a little longer. And I just hope the recovery goes really well and they get some minutes later on and are fresh and fit and show their performances.
Nikita Kaparis is back for the first time in a while. Why have you decided to call her back up?
Yeah, of course, we always watch a lot of players, and I've chosen other players over basically the last 2 years. But she's doing well. She's in good form. And as we talked about, the competition is going on, and we talked about Chloe now. Of course, Lauren Hemp is injured. She knows what's needed in international football. So I want to see her in our environment, and she can take this opportunity.
One of the biggest issues around the WSL of the last week has been the abuse that Bunny Shaw has received. And obviously we've talked a lot over the last couple of years about abuse and online abuse that players have been receiving. Seemingly increasingly, we've seen it at major tournaments previously. I'm just wondering how concerned you are as a coach for player welfare from that perspective.
Yeah, as many people already said, I stand with her too, with everyone who's had abuse or this is racism we're talking about. It's absolutely unacceptable, and we all need to do more about it, against it. And yes, that's a concern. And also these platforms need to do something about it. It's just really unacceptable.
Thank you.
Thanks, Anton. We'll just go to the front. Thanks.
Hi, Sarina. I hope you're well. Just going back to Georgia Stanway, how is she? And Bayern Munich said in their statement when they announced her injury that she'd be out for several months. Are you hopeful she will be fit for this summer, or would it be fair to assume that she is a doubt?
No, I'm hopeful. And Georgia has a plan. And she's really, really committed and very motivated to be back. She had surgery. That went well. Spoke to her. She's in a good place now. And of course, she'll it's first about her health and then coming back. But she knows where she wants to go to and where she wants to be at a certain moment. And let's hope that goes that way.
And you were asked about Chloe Kelly earlier. What do you hope her move to Arsenal allows her to do between now and the end of the season?
Well, I think that's what we all hope, that she shows good performances and that she gets the minutes in and gets her level back.
And before that move to Arsenal was announced, she released quite a revealing statement about how she was feeling and her situation at Manchester City before that move to Arsenal was confirmed. I wondered what you thought of that statement and some of the issues that potentially shines a light on.
Yeah, I think she was hurt. She was worried about her mental health. That's what her statement was. I don't have the full context, but I'm just glad now that she had a move which she mentioned that was really good for her, and hopefully she can, as she said, get a smile on her face again and play football and show who she is as a footballer.
And lastly, looking ahead to these two games against Portugal and Spain, two teams who will be at the Euros this summer, what are you hoping to learn from these fixtures?
Well, first of all, I hope to win these fixtures. So it's Nations League, of course. It's also getting us in the best possible position for the Euros, but also for the draw for the World Cup later on. And yes, we will learn from these. We will learn from every single game, but we want to win it too, of course. So we'll see. We'll prepare for them really well, and it's going to be two very competitive games.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bradley. Questions from the floor? Yep, we'll go across to Asif.
Hi, Sarina. Obviously, the loss of Georgia Stanway would potentially be huge for the squad. Last week, Mark Skinner talked about Grace Clinton being possibly able to play in the number 8. Is that something you would consider trying over the next couple of games, playing as a box-to-box midfielder with perhaps more defensive responsibilities?
I think we've already seen that we did that. So I think she can play that position. She's played several positions with club, Manchester, but also Tottenham last year and with us. I think she can be a number 8, yeah.
And obviously with Alex Greenwood unlikely to play for the next couple of months.
Sorry, can you say it again?
With Alex Greenwood unlikely to play for the next couple of months, would you possibly look at Maya Letizia as a centre-back option? Or do you think you have enough cover in that position?
Yeah, we don't. Of course, Maya plays as a centre-back for Manchester United. For us, she's more full-back. That's how we see her.
Thanks, Asif. Diane?
Hi, Sarina.
Hi.
I just wanted to ask you about Ella Toon. Obviously, she's back and she's been in incredible form since she's been back from the winter break. She's had a hard time too. What kind of conversations have you had with her over the last few months, and how pleased are you to see her, really back in form?
Yeah, we talk a little bit about football, of course, but we also talk about life. And sometimes life goes really well, and sometimes there are disappointing or sad things in life. That's part of life too. So yes, we talked about that too. And I think what she's done really well is trying to process these things. And of course, that's not going to go overnight. But I think how she's doing now, how she learns a little bit to talk about it and release that a little bit, I would say, that helps her. And I think what we all can see is that she's enjoying football.
Yeah, just on her football, she seems to be scoring freely, kind of, getting in the right positions, doing what, Ella Toon does. But how pleased have you been to see that? Because, that's something you're really going to need in the summer.
Yeah, I think it starts, what I really enjoyed at seeing her having fun playing football, because that helps. And then getting good performances in too. But I think that goes hand in hand.
Thanks. Go to Dom in the middle of the room.
Hi, Sarina.
Hi.
I'm just wondering how you've balanced with this squad the desire of getting your best players in, but also giving chances for you to see as a broader range of players before the Euros.
Yeah, that's the reason why we were so happy that we had 4 friendlies in October and then November, December. We said that it's so valuable that we can try out things, we can see many players, manage load a bit. Now, of course, it's exactly what you say. You have to find balance. You always want to win games, but going out there to win games and at the same time preparing for the Euros. So we're not going to change like 8 or 10 players in a game. But when we get the opportunity, of course, we'll try out things. But the main thing is that we want to win the games.
Thanks, Tom. We'll go across to Paul. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Sarina. For the first time in a while, you've been able to call on Lauren James, who obviously provides sort of an X factor, an excitement that maybe is very unusual. If any manager can call on. What does it mean to have her back again?
Yeah, it's really good. Again, same with Ella. She's in a good place. You can tell that she's enjoying football. It took a while for her to come back, but it's good to see her fit, fresh, and playing well for club. So I'm excited also that she's back.
Thanks, Paul. Just behind you, please.
Hi, Sarina. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Brilliant. So a lot of the England fans are a bit shocked to not see Bethany England in the squad. What more do players like her have to do to get the call up?
I think she's doing her very best. I think just the competition on that position is really high. And at the moment, I think the players who I chose are a little bit ahead of her.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Thank you. Any final questions? Yep, we'll go to the front. Thank you. Thanks ever so much.
Hi, Sarina.
Hi.
Beth Mead was left out of the squad on Sunday for Arsenal's FA Cup game. I was just wondering, was that precautionary, or is it going to be a phased return for her to the squad and playing?
Yeah, I think that's a main question for Arsenal. But she's fit enough to come in camp and ready.
Thank you.
As it stands now.
And the injuries with Alex Greenwood, Lauren Hemp and Georgia Samways, an unfortunate reminder of the injury crisis within women's football. We've obviously been hit very hard by injuries over the past couple of years. I was just wondering if you think there's anything clubs can do better for that return or prevent an injury other than what they're doing just now?
No, I think we're all doing our very, very best to keep players fit. I just think that women's football has grown so fast on and off the pitch, and I think the demands of the game have increased a lot, and we all have to adapt to that. Mainly the players, of course. And what you see now, every game, basically every game is very competitive, and there's many games. So there's Champions League starting soon. International football with countries is the Nations League started, which is very competitive too. So every single game is competitive, and the outside world changed too. So it's really good that everyone's here again. So we're very visible, but that's also comes with higher demands. I think we're just adjusting to that, and unfortunately we have injuries. But everyone's working really hard to get the things right for the players.
And finally, it's great to see the younger players called up, Laura Blinkendale-Brown again and Ruby Mace. I was just wondering, with the under-23 squad, is there anyone close to coming back? I know Taya Goldie's been having a fantastic season on loan with London City Lionesses, and just how they're doing with their development in the under-23s.
Yeah, I think what we've seen, of course, over the last years, that it's really valuable that we have the under-23s. We're really close aligned with that team in meetings every week, talking about players every week. But I think we already have a lot of very young players in our squad, and it's all about quality, of course. But many of them already are in our squad now, and I think, some players are very talented, but they need to take another step to compete for selection for the senior team.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Just go to Katie behind.
Hi, Sarina.
Hi.
I just wanted to ask you about the goalkeepers. There's obviously a lot of competition in that area. There's no Chiara Keating or Ellie Roebuck. Ellie Roebuck was obviously a part of the squad back in 2022. What level of communication have you had with her now that she's back playing?
I don't have had that much conversation with her lately. I had before. Of course, we're following her still. She's in the Barcelona squad now. Didn't play that many minutes. I think she's getting in a better place, and that's really good with what she has dealt with. There's competition going on with the goalkeepers. Some a little further away than others. We'll just keep following the players, but it's also important that hopefully you get some more playing minutes.
And just finally, given the injuries that you have to senior players, to very experienced players, is it going to accelerate that path to the starting 11 for some of your younger players? And do you think they're ready to make that step up?
What we've seen in our friendly games, that there is competition going on. There's still a lot of things to do for basically all the players, or our younger players. They need those experiences too. It's all about what I think is the best team to start, and then what we need in substitutions or changes in the team to try to win games. And that's sometimes not about age. While it does help when you have an experience of a major tournament, they already have that in your backpack, I would say. That's absolutely very helpful.
Thank you.
Thanks, Katie. Any final questions? Okay, we'll end it there. Thank you. Thanks ever so much.
Thank you.